Well, officials say their focus is criminals. State and local leaders say they still haven't gotten a full explanation from why Charlotte was selected for this operation.
But Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem did offer this.
Charlotte, specifically, we had a high number of child abuse, trafficking, neglect type of instances that we had identified over our work there. And so these operations are based on where we have a criminal element to our illegal alien population that's in the country and what we can do to get them off of our streets and protect our children and people.
Child abuse and trafficking listed as a justification for this operation. But from what we've been told so far, none of those taken into custody are facing those kinds of charges. Keep in mind, though, it doesn't mean trafficking is not a major issue here in our community.
North Carolina, we're ranked 9th in the United States for human trafficking. The three major areas, the number one is the Charlotte region.
So why do we rank so high? Well, we've always been told it's largely because of, well, where we are right here on the map. We're a big growing city right at the intersection of I-85 and I-77. We're a connection, a pit stop, really, between New York all the way down to Florida. Now, some of that trafficking involves labor, people being forced to work, adults and kids. But the most reported kind is sex trafficking. And those cases have brought absolute horror stories into our communities.
I was sold to rich guys, poor guys, old guys, young guys, sold to some women. When the buyer was done using me, then he would come back with my clothes and we would leave. And I'd go back home. I slept in my bed almost every night, still went to school every morning. I still played softball, I was in ROTC, I was very involved in school, yet at night I was being sold for sex.
Being sold by her own father. And these kinds of cases of trafficking minors, they have been rising. The Charlotte Metro Human Trafficking Task Force says it identified 106 kids as suspected or confirmed victims of human trafficking in 2024. That number was up 76% from 2020. 98% were girls. About 52% were between 16 and 17 years old. The other 48% were 15 or younger.
Average age of entry into sex trafficking is 12 years old. And there has become a bigger need for safe houses to serve those as young as 6 or 4, because these are the children that are being sold.
Over the years, we have seen fundraisers and partnerships, all kinds of efforts to provide refuge and resources. If you suspect human trafficking and there is an immediate danger, you want to call 911. For non-emergencies, you can call the National Human Trafficking Hotline. See that number on your screen as well. It's 1-888-373-7888. Now, also worth pointing out here, the most recent data we have on human trafficking arrests, it comes from 2022. The Department of Justice found 58% of those taken in were white, 20% were black, 18% were Hispanic, and 95% were U.S. citizens.
We're on your side tonight with new research raising serious questions about your safety. And we're talking about one of the most routine moves we make behind the wheel. That's the left-hand turn. If you watched us for a while, you've probably heard us mention this. Charlotte is a Vision Zero city. Now, the goal behind that is bold, eliminate all traffic deaths and serious injuries by 2030. City leaders have been trying to make our roads safer by removing the most dangerous crash patterns. And this new national data lines up exactly with what Charlotte's been warning about. The Insurance Institute for Highway Safety analyzed more than 4,500 police-reported pedestrian crashes and found a clear pattern. When there's a big blind zone, there's a much bigger risk. Vehicles with large blind zones are 70% more likely to hit pedestrians during left-hand turns compared to cars with smaller blind spots. Researchers say that's most common in vehicles with thick A-pillars, big mirrors, tall hoods, and slanted windshields, all of which can block a driver's view right as pedestrians step off the curb.
I think for the automakers, it's going to be a challenge for them to find ways to address these problems that do not diminish the protection for the vehicle occupant.
Now, the report says road design changes can help, and that's a big part of Charlotte's Vision Zero effort. The city says to stay committed to their goal, they've been rethinking the most dangerous intersections, adding raised crosswalks, tightening lanes, changing signals, and limiting risky turns.